The average male, having a 615 to start, that's not bad.
Right.
But if you're an athlete, if you're somebody that's constantly in the gym, like you are expected to have a higher T level.
Yeah, if you just sit at a desk and don't do anything, a 613 is going to be fine.
Yes, exactly. And so, we were dying laughing because the levels they had set for my body type was between 228 and 700.
Right.
Which is very low for me.
Right.
I feel lethargic at 800. So these are the types of things we want to speak out on. We want people to understand that everybody is different here and everybody needs to get tested. It is one of those things, especially for military men. Like,
right.
Man, if you've been through stress, that it is an NCO, if you've been through stress in combat, then yes, you need to go and get tested for TRT. You need to understand where you're at and what it means to go on to TRT and what the benefits and possible side effects are. And I mean, the side effects really aren't crazy. You're not going to be this angry ball of anger.
Right.
That's estrogen. That's a very different problem. Most of the time we are that way because we have low T. Right. So, there is a flip side to these things. Like some guys get acne, but there are routes to take to counteract these things. Mm-hmm. It's not always so cut and dry, but it is very simplistic in adhering to issues that could arise.
Right.
So,
yeah, and just to summarize that real quick, that's why it's so important to have a TRT doctor or a doctor who understands TRT in a way that is functional because they don't get trained on this stuff in medical school.
No, they don't. And you want to see, if you have to go to a hormone therapist, like, or a hormone doctor, you want somebody that really understands. There are questions you can be asking these doctors that you can simply look up about the pituitary, how it secretes, right. What it means to go on certain types of testosterones. If you go to a doctor who doesn't understand the difference between propionate, cypionate, and neanthate, mm-hmm. or acetate, undecanate, mm-hmm. Why are you even in the field?
Right.
That's one of those things that it drives me crazy because I see it now so often with a lot of my friends, and they're like, well, they just put me on cypionate, and they're getting one shot a week.
Yeah.
And that is so dangerous because what this does is what we call roller coastering. So you're going up in testosterone, and all that conversion brings you back down. And when you come back down, that conversion rolls over into estrogen, and estrogen is male crazy sauce. It makes us aggressive. It makes us sad. It's not good. Right. So in order to avoid these things, you need to be able to break those shots down either every other day or twice a week.
Right.
And everybody's different. Some people do well with twice a week. That's how I do well. And other people like Brian here, they do well with every other day injections.
Right.
And that it works famously for us. I'm very thankful that I discovered I had the issue. I'm extremely thankful.
Yeah, and to give you guys kind of another perspective on how bad the medical situation is when it comes to testosterone, and it's such a basic fundamental thing that I don't understand why medical school doesn't teach this because it is so vastly important. But there's a guy at the gym I was talking to recently, and he's got a high body fat percentage, and he went to a TRT clinic locally, and they prescribed him a shot of Test C every 2 weeks.
That is insane.
It's like, okay, the half-life on it is 8 days. So by the time he goes to get another shot, he's got 1/3 or 1/4 of the testosterone that was injected at the last appointment. So during that whole time, you got all this estrogen conversion and then no testosterone to combat the high estrogen level from the body fat, changing the testosterone into estrogen.
Right. And, they also, one of the big things now is the prescription of HCG. What's funny is they normally have you buy this on your own.
Right.
Which is just to keep your gonads going.